Does it ever feel like just hitting a certain number on the calendar comes with a whole set of unspoken rules? Rules that tell you what you should and shouldn't be doing, how you should be feeling, and even what you're capable of anymore. Like there's this invisible line you cross. And suddenly, the world expects you to slow down, fade into the background, and accept limitations you don't actually feel inside. Maybe you've heard things like, "Oh, at your age, you shouldn't try that." Or, "Well, what do you expect? You're not a spring chicken anymore." It can make you feel like you're past your prime, like the most vibrant parts of life are behind you. And that can be incredibly disheartening. It's a painful reality that many of us internalize, often without even realizing it. We start to believe these ideas, and they become self-fulfilling prophecies, holding us back from enjoying life to the fullest. But here's the secret. A lot of what we think we know about getting older simply isn't true. These aren't facts. They're just myths. Old stories passed down that don't stand up to reality. In this video, we're going to shine a light on 6 of these persistent aging myths that are making you feel older than you are and keeping you from living the life you deserve. We'll uncover the truth behind them and talk about how you can break free from their hold. Stick around until the very end, because I promise, something we discuss might genuinely surprise you and change the way you look at your own journey. So, let's dive right in and tackle the first big one. A myth that probably affects how many of us view our potential and future possibilities. It's the idea that you're too old to learn new things, too old to change, or too old to start something entirely new. How many times have you heard or even thought to yourself, "Oh, I couldn't possibly learn a new language now," or "Starting a new career at my age, don't be ridiculous," or even "Trying to understand this new technology is just too much for me." This myth tells us that our brains become rigid and incapable of absorbing new information or adapting past a certain point. It paints a picture of a mind that's set in its ways, resistant to change, and slowly but surely declining in its ability to learn. And if you believe that, it naturally limits what you're willing to try. You might stop taking classes, shy away from new hobbies that require learning a skill, or avoid technology that feels intimidating. This belief can make your world feel smaller, less exciting, and frankly, pretty dull. But the truth, backed by mountains of research and countless real-life examples, is that the human brain remains remarkably capable of learning, adapting, and growing throughout life. This ability is called neuroplasticity, and it doesn't shut off when you hit 60, 70, 80, or beyond. Your brain is like a muscle. The more you use it, especially for learning new things, the stronger and more adaptable it becomes. Think about it. Have you ever taught yourself a new recipe? Figured out how to use a new phone feature? Learned a new route to a familiar place? That was your brain learning, proving this myth wrong. The actionable step here is simple, but it requires a shift in mindset. Embrace curiosity and challenge your brain regularly. It doesn't have to be monumental. It could be learning a few phrases of a new language using a free app, taking an online course on a topic that interests you, learning to play a musical instrument, joining a book club that discusses challenging literature, or even just trying a new type of puzzle. The key is novelty and engagement. When you expose your brain to new information and new ways of thinking, you're building new neural pathways and strengthening existing ones. This not only keeps your mind sharp, but also fosters a sense of accomplishment and expands your horizons. Imagine, finally, learning to paint, taking up a fascinating history course, or becoming proficient enough with a tablet to easily video call your grandkids. These aren't just activities. They're acts of rebellion against a myth that says you're supposed to be winding down. And the benefits extend beyond just mental acuity. Learning new things keeps you engaged with the world, connects you with others if you learn in a group or class setting, and provides a renewed sense of purpose. Don't let the fear of failure or the belief that it's too late stop you. It is absolutely never too late to learn, grow, and discover new passions. Now, Closely related to the idea of mental decline is the pervasive myth that physical decline is inevitable, irreversible, and means you have to resign yourself to aches, pains, and limited mobility. This myth suggests that as you age, your body is just naturally going to break down, that losing muscle mass and bone density is unavoidable, and that things like arthritis, stiffness, and low energy are simply par for the course. It's the narrative that tells you things like, my knees just aren't what they used to be, so I can't walk as far. Or, getting older means I'll have less energy. Or, falls are just something that happens to older people. This myth can be incredibly limiting because it discourages physical activity and proactive health measures. If you believe that decline is inevitable, why bother exercising? Why try to eat healthier? Why work on balance or flexibility? This belief can lead to a sedentary lifestyle, which, ironically, does contribute to physical decline, creating a vicious cycle. It can lead to a loss of independence, making simple tasks harder, and reducing your ability to participate in activities you enjoy. But here's the empowering truth: while some physiological changes do occur with age, significant physical decline is often more a result of lifestyle factors, inactivity, and treatable conditions than age itself. Your body, like your brain, is incredibly resilient and responsive. Muscle mass and strength can be maintained and even increased at any age with resistance training. Bone density can be supported through exercise and nutrition. Flexibility and balance can be improved with dedicated practice. Conditions like arthritis can often be managed effectively with exercise, therapy, and appropriate medical care. The idea that you're just destined to become frail and limited is simply not true for the vast majority of people. Look at people like the centenarian marathon runners or the older adults who take up weightlifting or dancing. They are living proof that robust physical function is possible and achievable well into later life. So, what can you do to defy this myth? The actionable step is to prioritize movement and physical activity in your daily life, tailored to your abilities and any health conditions you might have. This doesn't mean you have to start training for a marathon tomorrow. It means finding ways to move your body regularly in ways you enjoy. This could be walking, swimming, dancing, gardening, cycling, or joining an exercise class specifically designed for older adults. Crucially, it should also include some form of resistance training, even if it's just using your own body weight or light resistance bands. Building and maintaining muscle mass is vital for strength, balance, metabolism, and preventing falls. Flexibility exercises, like stretching or Tai Chi, help maintain range of motion and prevent stiffness. And exercises that challenge your balance, like standing on one leg holding onto something for support if needed, can significantly reduce the risk of falls. Consistency is more important than intensity. Even short bursts of activity throughout the day are beneficial. Don't let pain or stiffness be an automatic stop sign. Often, gentle movement is the best way to manage these issues. Consult with your doctor or a physical therapist if you have concerns or conditions that need specific guidance. By staying active, you're not just fighting a myth, you're investing in your independence, energy levels, and overall quality of life for years to come. You have far more control over your physical well-being than this limiting myth would have you believe. Moving on from the physical, let's address a myth that often dictates how we think we should spend our time as we get older. It's the notion that you should slow down, relax, and essentially retire from an active life. This myth suggests that after a certain age, especially after retirement, your focus should shift entirely to rest and leisure, that pushing yourself or pursuing ambitious goals is inappropriate or even harmful. It's the voice that whispers, "You've earned the right to do nothing," or "Don't overdo it. You're not young anymore," or "Just take it easy." While rest and relaxation are important at any age, the idea that you should significantly reduce your activity level and ambition just because of your age is a damaging myth. This belief can lead to a lack of purpose, social isolation, and a decline in both physical and mental health. When you stop challenging yourself and engaging with the world, it's easy to feel irrelevant or like you're just waiting around. This taking it easy mindset can actually accelerate decline rather than prevent it. Our bodies and minds thrive on engagement and challenge, not passive idleness. The truth is that maintaining a sense of purpose, staying socially connected, and continuing to engage in meaningful activities are crucial for well-being in later life. Retirement isn't an end. It's an opportunity to redirect your energy and time towards things that truly fulfill you. This could mean pursuing long-held passions, volunteering for causes you care about, starting a small business, joining clubs or groups, or even returning to work part-time in a field you enjoy. The key is staying engaged and feeling like you are contributing or working towards something that matters to you. Studies consistently show that older adults who remain active and socially connected have better physical health, cognitive function, and overall happiness than those who withdraw. Think about people you know who seem vibrant and full of life in their 70s, 80s, or beyond. Chances are, they are people who are still actively involved in their communities, pursuing interests, or spending time with loved ones. They haven't accepted the myth that they should slow down and disappear. So, how do you counter this myth in your own life, actively seek out opportunities for engagement and purpose? If you're retired, think about what you genuinely enjoy doing or what causes you care about. Could you volunteer at a local school, hospital, or charity? Could you join a choir, a gardening club, a walking group, or a bridge club? Could you take a class at a local community center or university? Could you mentor someone younger? Could you use your skills and experience to help others? Even maintaining regular social contact with friends and family is a vital form of engagement. Plan regular outings, host gatherings, or simply make time for phone calls or video chats. Don't let the myth of taking it easy lead you into isolation and inactivity. Challenge yourself to find things that bring you joy and a sense of contribution, and make them a regular part of your life. Your later years can be a time of immense growth, connection, and fulfillment if you reject the idea that you're supposed to be slowing down. And now, let's talk about one of the most feared aspects often associated with aging: memory loss. The myth here is that significant memory decline, or even dementia, is a normal and inevitable part of getting older. We've all heard or said things like, "Oh, I'm having a senior moment," or "My memory isn't what it used to be." And while some minor changes in memory processing speed can occur with age, the idea that significant memory loss is just something you have to accept as you get older is simply not true and is a deeply harmful myth. This myth causes immense anxiety and fear, and it can lead people to dismiss genuine concerns about their memory or the memory of a loved one, attributing them simply to old age. It can also discourage people from taking steps that are known to support brain health because they believe decline is unavoidable anyway. Living under the shadow of this myth can be incredibly distressing. The reality is that while the risk of conditions like Alzheimer's disease and other dementias does increase with age, they are not a normal part of aging. Many older adults maintain sharp memory and cognitive function throughout their lives. Furthermore, research has revealed that there are many factors within our control that can significantly impact brain health and cognitive function as we age. Diet, exercise, social engagement, mental stimulation, sleep, and managing stress and chronic health conditions all play a crucial role. What might seem like age-related forgetfulness could sometimes be related to things like vitamin deficiencies, thyroid problems, medication side effects, lack of sleep, depression, or stress, all of which are often treatable. Accepting the myth that memory loss is inevitable prevents us from investigating potential causes and taking proactive steps to protect our brain health. So, what concrete steps can you take to challenge this myth and support your memory? Firstly, stay physically active. Exercise increases blood flow to the brain and promotes the growth of new brain cells and connections. Aim for regular aerobic exercise you enjoy, like walking or swimming. Secondly, eat a brain-healthy diet. Focus on foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids like fatty fish, antioxidants found in colorful fruits and vegetables, and whole grains. Limit saturated and trans fats, and reduce sugar intake. Consider the Mediterranean diet pattern, which is consistently linked to better cognitive health. Thirdly, keep your mind active and challenged, as we discussed earlier with the learning myth. Learn new skills. Play brain games. Read challenging books. Engage in hobbies that require problem solving. Fourthly, prioritize social connection. Engaging with others is mentally stimulating and helps reduce stress and depression, both of which can impact memory. Fifthly, manage stress. Chronic stress can be harmful to the brain. Find healthy ways to cope, such as meditation, deep breathing, or spending time in nature. Sixthly, get enough quality sleep. Sleep is essential for memory consolidation and overall brain health. Aim for 7 to 9 hours per night. Seventh, manage any chronic health conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, and high cholesterol, as these can affect brain health. And finally, if you or someone you know is experiencing concerning changes in memory or thinking, don't dismiss it as just old age. Talk to a doctor to rule out treatable causes and discuss potential strategies. By taking these steps, you are actively working against the myth of inevitable memory decline and investing in your brain's future. Let's turn our attention to a myth that often goes unspoken, but can deeply affect relationships and self-esteem. The idea that older people are not interested in or capable of intimacy and a fulfilling sex life. This myth portrays older adults as asexual or past the point of desiring physical connection. It's perpetuated in media, often through the absence of older adults in romantic contexts, and can lead to feelings of invisibility or inadequacy. It might make someone feel embarrassed about their desires, or assume that their partner or potential partners are no longer interested. This myth can lead to a lack of intimacy and connection in relationships, which are vital for emotional well-being at any age. It can also prevent individuals from seeking help for age-related physical changes that might affect sexual function, simply because they believe it's just how it is when you're older. The truth is that the desire for intimacy and physical connection is a lifelong human need. While physiological changes can occur with age that might affect sexual function, these changes don't necessarily diminish desire or the capacity for pleasure. Many older adults continue to have active and satisfying sex lives. Furthermore, intimacy is about more than just intercourse. It encompasses closeness, affection, touch, and emotional connection, all of which remain important throughout life. The challenges that might arise, such as physical limitations or changes in hormone levels, can often be managed with medical help, lifestyle adjustments, or simply adapting to different forms of intimacy. Open communication with a partner and a healthcare provider can make a significant difference. Don't let a cultural myth dictate what's possible in your personal relationships. So, how do you navigate this myth? The actionable step is to recognize that intimacy is a lifelong pursuit and to communicate openly about your needs and desires, both with your partner and, if needed, with a doctor. Don't be afraid to discuss any physical challenges you might be facing with a health care professional. There are often effective treatments or strategies available. This could involve managing conditions like erectile dysfunction, vaginal dryness, or pain. It also means being open to exploring different forms of intimacy and pleasure that might be more comfortable or fulfilling. Focus on closeness, affection, and connection, which can deepen relationships regardless of age, if you're single. Don't internalize the myth that you're too old to seek companionship or romantic relationships. Many people find love and partnership later in life. The key is rejecting the societal script that says your romantic or sexual life is over after a certain age, and instead embracing your desires and seeking out fulfilling connections. So finally, let's address perhaps the most overarching and limiting myth of all, the idea that your best years are behind you. That life after a certain age, particularly after retirement, is a period of decline, boredom, and waiting for the end. This myth paints a bleak picture of later life, suggesting that the opportunities for joy, excitement, growth, and meaningful experiences have passed. It's the belief that makes people say things like, "Well, I've had my day," or "There's not much left to look forward to." This is perhaps the most soul-crushing myth because it robs people of hope and motivation. If you believe the best is over, why bother setting new goals, trying new things, or making plans for the future? This belief can lead to feelings of sadness, regret, and a passive approach to life. The profound truth, and the surprise I mentioned earlier, is that for many people, later life can be incredibly rich, fulfilling, and, in some ways, even better than earlier years. While you might face different challenges, you also bring a lifetime of experience, wisdom, and resilience. You often have more time and freedom to pursue your interests, deepen relationships, and contribute to your community in ways you couldn't when you were working full-time or raising a family. This can be a time of tremendous personal growth, new adventures, and a deeper appreciation for the simple joys in life. The best years aren't a fixed point in the past. They are the years you are currently living, and they have the potential to be just as vibrant and meaningful as any other, if not more so. To live a life that defies this myth, you need to actively cultivate a positive and forward-looking mindset. Focus on the present and the future, not dwelling excessively on the past. Set new goals, no matter how small. Learning a new skill, planning a trip, volunteering, starting a creative project. Embrace new experiences and step outside your comfort zone regularly. Cultivate gratitude for what you have and the experiences you've had. Nurture your relationships and build new connections. Find ways to continue learning and growing. As we discussed with the first myth, and most importantly, define what a best year means to you now, based on your current circumstances and desires, rather than comparing it to a different phase of life. Maybe your best years now mean having the time to truly connect with your grandchildren, or finally writing that book, or exploring the world at your own pace, or dedicating yourself to a cause you believe in. Rejecting these 6 myths: that you're too old to learn, that physical decline is inevitable, that you must slow down, that memory loss is normal, that intimacy is over, and that your best years are behind you, isn't about denying the reality of getting older. It's about understanding that aging is a natural process. But the experience of aging is profoundly shaped by our beliefs and our actions. You have far more agency and potential than these limiting myths suggest. Remember, small shifts in mindset and small, consistent actions can make a truly monumental difference in your health, happiness, and how you experience these years. Don't let outdated ideas hold you back from living a full, vibrant, and purposeful life at any age. Your experience of getting older is not predetermined. It's something you actively create every single day. You are capable, you are valuable, and your best years can absolutely be now. What did you think about these myths? Were any of them holding you back? I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Sharing helps us all feel less alone and can inspire others. If you found this video helpful or encouraging, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And if you want more content like this, empowering you to live your best life at every age, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out. Thank you for watching. Keep learning, keep moving, keep connecting, and keep living your best life at every age.